Nation, still on the road with it, but let's get it. A lot to talk about. Yo, salute to everybody here in the building already, man. Salute to the greatest chat in YouTube history. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Make sure you wipe them feet, meaning hit them thumbs up. Also, hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed yet. Still home in Sacramento once again, you guys. Not in the cave. Back in Texas with all my background and microphone and all that good stuff. But hey, man, I said, you know what, man? Late night show. I want to talk with my people. A lot to unpack today. We are going to talk about Shedeur Sanders, BYU, nasty work. Going to talk about that. And you guys know I'm a Shedeur guy, but we call it how we see it. Going to talk about Cam Ward and company, man. Miami, Iowa State put on a clinic today. Going to talk about Cam Ward sitting that second half out. I'm seeing a lot of mixed signals, a lot of mixed emotions, not signals, but mixed emotions right now online in terms of Cam Ward playing in the first half. And we're going to break that down a little bit as well. We're also going to be talking about a few other reports. Patrick Graham and his contract situation. There's a lot going on with that. And we're going to go ahead and kill the narrative that a lot of people are putting out there in the world right now with this whole Tyreek Hill situation. So before we do that, man, salute to L11, Johnny, Omar, Ant, Sir Dre, coaches in the building, Raider Sparks, Slumdog, Cider, been bad. Salute. I see Green Dot Gang already here, heavy in the building. If you guys want to become a member, man, like Green Dot. Hit that link. It's pinned up top. It definitely helps us keep the lights on over here at OLV Raiders Network. Salute to my brother Hammer in the building. Also, Hammer, if you're free in a few, man, let me know. I'll send over the invite if you want to pull up. Me and Hammer will be live also tomorrow covering Raiders Saints. And I don't know if you guys seen this earlier, man. There was a report that dropped about the Raiders situation in terms of traveling out to New Orleans. It's actually kind of crazy, man. We're going to get into that here in a second as well. Salute to SenCal. I send mines to you and the fam. Raider Nation for life. Salute to my dog, SenCal 805. I appreciate you, brother, on the $5 special. Salute to my guy, Ant. Yes. Been out all day, man, in Sacramento, shopping a little bit with the family, kind of doing some Christmas stuff. My sons didn't have the traditional Christmas, you guys, because we're in Sacramento. We're in California back home. So, we're not planning on packaging up a lot of stuff and putting it in our suitcases. We're kind of waiting to have our real, Christmas back home. So I took them out. I got me a nice little bow joint. Got me a nice little new Raider hat today at the Folsom Outlet. Got my sons together. You already know, man. Salute to Slum. Always rocking with you, Graphk. Appreciate you, bro. Salute to Mondo. That content. Salute to my guy, man. Dan says, let's be honest, Shedeur has a very sketchy coach in Brown, man. Coach Brown? Do you mean Shermer? Dan? Oh, my bad. I'm reading two different comments at the same time. Let's be honest, he has a sketchy O-line. This is facts. It was nasty work today. I don't know if you guys got an opportunity to watch. I watched this entire game. I was at Buffalo Wild Wings. No pun intended, the irony, Buffalo Wild Wings, watching the Colorado Buffaloes. And I got an opportunity to watch every snap of this game. And you guys, this was bad. This was terrible. Colorado's defense shit the bed. BYU, a phenomenal team this year. I believe they were ranked 17th, right? Put up 36 points on that Colorado defense. Shedeur, once again, man, he was running for his life today. I think he was sacked about 4 or 5 times. That O-line did not hold up for him. Picture this, you guys, 9 carries, minus 34 yards. 9 carries, minus 34 yards. So, yeah, that D-line was all over Shedeur today. 16 for 23, 208 yards in the air. One of those, I believe, was like a 50-yard gash to Travis Hunter, which was a beautiful thrown football. Him and Trav got that rapport there. He had 2 touchdowns, you guys, 2 picks, and a QBR of 18.6. This is coming off, the situation where Shedeur was kind of playing into the whole fact of he wants the number 1 pick, okay? And the more I'm starting to see this, you guys, the more I'm and we talked about this in the last few shows, I'm starting to recognize a trend here with Shedeur. He kind of just plays into the team that is going to be there at number 1. I don't know if you've seen a video the other day. It started to go viral maybe 2-3 days ago, tops. Don't quote me on that. But, he stated, check out my cleats in a few days. You're going to get an idea of where I'm going and so on and so forth. Well, today, those cleats dropped. If you've seen the picture on the thumbnail, you guys, he had some blue, red, and white cleats with the Giants logo on them. He did not wear them during the game, but I believe they were in the locker room. He posted them, and, it started to go viral all over the place about, the Giants are the sure thing there at number 1, okay? Got to be honest here, you guys. There's already a lot of rumors and rumblings of potentially Cam Ward going to New York at number 1. I don't think that this game, actually, I know this game did not help Shedeur's cause for going number 1. And to me, this is just a clear-cut situation where he's kind of playing into whoever's there number 1, he wants to go number 1. It doesn't matter who it is, the Giants, the Raiders, it could be potentially, I don't know, the Titans, whoever the hell, which is going to be the Giants, ends up there at number 1. He's going to be happy to go there because he wants to go number 1, right? I mean, most of the time, you can kind of hold your head high, right? That I went number 1. I went over Trav. I went over Cam. I went over, Abdul Carter and all these other talents in this draft. It's clear cut. At this point, Shedeur just wants to go number 1. And he doesn't care if it's the Giants, the Raiders, whoever it is. So, I think a lot of us in the nation, kind of bought into the fact that Shedeur wants to be there. And I'm not saying that he doesn't. I still believe that he would rather be a Raider than a New York Giant. The no state tax, the state-of-the-art facilities, Brock Bowers there, Max on the defensive side of the ball. I think there's a lot of factors out there, Mark Davis and that relationship, Tom Brady, and so on and so forth. I do believe that he still would want to be a Raider. But, he's kind of been feeding into the whole number 1 pick. I'm going to the Giants at this point. Well, played into it, went out there today, shit the bed against a great BYU team. And I do believe, regardless of anything, I know people may think that I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but I do believe that this is going to affect him in terms of draft placement. I know that we still have the combine, we still have a slew of stuff in the offseason where he can still, put himself there in that number 1 talk. But this, man, could not help him at all. I think personally, Shedeur would have been better off just sitting this one out. Honestly, I mean, even with Cam Ward, I know he went out there and I believe there was a record that he was trying to break in the first half and then he sat in the second half. Cam had a phenomenal first half, you guys, against a really good Iowa State game. We're going to talk about that. I think 3 touchdowns, no picks. I think he had somewhere along the lines of 196 yards. He looked really good out there. He looked really, really good out there in one half. And then he sat in the second half. And, I understand that. I get it. There's really nothing else to prove at this point. You're going to be a top 3, at the bare minimum, a top 5 pick with Cam Ward. But I'm going to be honest, you guys. I think that Shedeur low-key did himself a disservice today by going out there and playing in this bowl game and allowing his team, and I'm not just saying it's just him. There's so many moving pieces with this, the O-line, the defense. There's so much that goes into, all this. Pat Shurmur, there's a plethora of problems out there in terms of the Colorado Buffaloes and the way they played against BYU today. But I think, honestly, he should have just sat this one out. Like, if you're saying that you're the number one guy and you're clearly the number one guy, and then you go out there and you play, in a bowl game against a BYU team that probably is maybe the best, maybe second best team that you played in the nation this season, and you look like this, doesn't help your cause, to be the number one guy. I think that if you would have sat this one out, and I understand, you guys, the competitive nature, we want to see these guys go out there and play, regardless. But I think that there would have been kind of a mystique, kind of like, like him not playing in this game, watching the Buffaloes go out there and shit the bed with their backup quarterback. There would have been kind of a mystique there. Like, I wonder what he would have looked like out there. You know what I'm saying? And I think that this definitely did a disservice to him potentially going number one to the New York Giants. This was not a great game. This was a really, really bad game by Shedeur Sanders. And once again, you guys, I'm a Shedeur guy. I just have to call it how I see it. 16 for 23, 208 in the air, average 9 a clip, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, and a QBR of 18.6. That is bad compared to the BYU quarterback who had a terrible game, right? But his QBR was still damn near double, 30.7. He had no touchdowns. He had 2 picks, average 7.2 a clip. He had 151 in the air. He was 12 for 21, but he still had a better QBR. Jake Retzlaff, I believe, a BYU. That defense was all over Colorado, man. And, they ran the football down Colorado's throat, 180 yards on the ground. I believe LJ Martin had 93 yards. He had 2 touchdowns. BYU had their way with Colorado. Now you go look at, the Hurricanes and you think, okay, they lost 42-41 in a close one. Iowa State is ranked, you guys, number 18 in the nation. They were 11-3, coming into this. Miami 10-3. And Cam Ward goes out there in one half. I said 196. He had 190, 3 touchdowns, average 10 a clip, 97.6 QBR. Very efficient, 12 for 19, had a phenomenal game. Once again, 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. And also, he ran the football 2 times for 8 yards. So there you have it. Way better than Shedeur in contrast at the Pop-Tart Bowl compared to, what Shedeur looked like against that crazy, crazy BYU team. So I do believe that this definitely hampers Shedeur going into the offseason and trying to be that number one guy in the upcoming 2025 draft. Definitely, man. So, he definitely hurt himself, hurt his stock. Salute to Wilder. See you rocking that Bo shirt. Mine's in the closet. Yes, I went to Lids today, grabbed another hat, bought my wife a Stanford hat. And we got right today with the family, man. Salute to my guy Wilder, man. Appreciate you on the $5. Salute to Sholo, man. Blue, red, white cleats, USA colors. Hell yeah. Well, Sholo, he also had the Giants logo on the shoes. So if you guys didn't see, hold on real quick, you guys. My brothers want to pull up real quick and shoot the shit. Hold on. I'm going to show you these cleats real quick. Real fast. For those who did not see them, they're clearly like, look at this. This is what they were. The Deion's too. The Deion Nike cleats with the Giants logo on them. So they weren't just USA, Sholo, man. They were actually New York Giant cleats. He's trying to make it clear and understood that he wants to go number one in the upcoming draft. Salute to my boy Cap. I agree with your point about Shedeur's obsession with going number one. But even as someone who likes Shedeur, finds it weird that he's more focused with being drafted the highest, as if that really matters. And you know what? And I agree with you, Cap. But as athletes, man, these guys are competitive. They always want to win every game. They want to go number one. They want to get the highest, money. There's so much that goes into this, right? But I mean, why wouldn't you want to go number one? But I understand. Like I said, I do believe that Shedeur kind of has this obsession right now with going number one. Doesn't matter who it is, which I still believe that he has a preference and that is our Las Vegas Raiders. Salute to my brother, Wasted Talent. We are on the road together, my brother. What's good?
Cooling, bro. Cooling, man. Yo, it's funny you bringing the Shedeur thing up, man. You know, that's exactly my sentiment, bro. Like, the one thing that he can do that his dad hasn't done is get drafted number 1.
There you go.
Like, you know what I mean? You know, there's got to be some kind of like ground that he's trying to cover that his dad hasn't already covered. I mean, if you got a dad who is the 1% of the 1%, like an immortal, it's very, very hard to top anything he's ever done, even if you play another position, right? And him going number 1, it's got to be something that he's infatuated with.
Also, Wasted something we haven't talked about. The other guy there in the building that he calls himself, you know, his brother, and he wants to go higher than him, and that is Travis Hunter. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Biletnikoff winner, Heisman winner. You know, these guys, they're definitely behind the scenes like, yo, I'm the best player. No, I'm the best player. You know what I mean? So there's a healthy competition there. So, but like I said, man, when he put these cleats up today, it kind of just let me know that it's more about just going number 1. It's not about the Raiders per se. It's not about the Giants per se. It's just him saying, I want to be the first guy picked in this coming draft. Period. Point blank.
Facts. There's a pay structure with that involved. There's a clout thing involved. And listen, man, if we're being honest, if he had it his way, would it probably be the Raiders over the Giants? I really believe so. You know, even before the Raiders were even in the picture, before there was even a draft picture last year, he was talking about being a Raider.
Yeah.
Right. So I think in his heart of hearts, but the reality of it is that we don't control our destiny. And the Raiders will have to do a lot to get Shedeur Sanders, man.
Yeah. And once again, I think you agree with me on this, big bro, is if he had his choice, if he had his pick of the litter, I think he would pick the Raiders. But, you know, clearly he just wants to go number 1. Salute to 24, man, gifting 10 OLV Raiders Network membership. Salute to my guy, man. I appreciate you, bro, so much. Salute to all the new Green Dot Gang members in the building. As always, I appreciate you guys. If you missed out on those, hit the link. It's pinned up top, man. Did you get a chance to watch the game today, or do you just kind of check out the highlights?
I checked out the highlights because when the game was on, I was on the air, and then previous to that, you know, I was kind of bogged down with stuff with the family, bro. And now it is when you're not at the crib, man. It's like, God is, man. We bunch of old budgets.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Waste is in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in Sacramento, California. So we both on the road right now for the holidays. So it's kind of like pick your spots whenever we get a chance to go live and get away.
Man. Yo, it looked like we're in the exact same guest room.
Yeah, exactly. Facts. Salute to Zen. Shedeur puts on the Giants cleats and starts playing like Daniel Jones. Nasty work. Salute to Zen Raider, man. Yeah, I don't think that this helped him at all. Wasted. And salute to Zen, my dog. I appreciate you on the $10 special. I don't think that this helped him at all in terms of draft stock. I think that, you know, I was saying before you pulled up, I think there was like, if he would have just not played, there would have been a mystique there. I think Colorado, they got blown out today. Without him, I think it would have been worse. But also it would have looked like without Shedeur, this team got shit on. You know what I'm saying? There would have been a mystique there a little bit where it's like, hey, man, maybe if they had Shedeur, they would have won. And that's how much he means to this team. So let's continue to look at him as potentially that guy at the number 1 spot. And I don't know if you know, but Cam Ward had the Raiders and the Giants out there watching him today at the Pop-Tart Bowl against Iowa State. So I don't know if anybody in the nation knows this, but the Raiders team was out there. The Giants team was out there. They were definitely out there doing their due diligence on Cam Ward, who had a phenomenal game today, Wasted. He only played in one half. He sat in the second half, but he did go out there.
No, I actually watched Cam Ward. He looked great. You know, the one thing, you know, just a side note, when I watch these bowls, man, I'm like, man, whatever happened to the Cotton Bowl and the Sugar Bowl and the Rose Bowl? I mean, they got the freaking KY Jelly Bowl now. And they
Trojan Man, fucking bowl.
Trojan Man Bowl. What the hell is going on here, bro?
A Planned Parenthood Bowl.
Yeah. The Golden Grams, the Golden Grams Bowl.
Hey, the Cocoa Rules Bowl and shit.
Bro, listen, we gonna go a little deep. We gonna stop, right? We got to get the Kabooms, the King Vitamin Bowl. But you know what's crazy? I kind of disagree with the Shedeur Sanders thing, right? I think that when it comes to Shedeur and when it comes to both of these quarterbacks, I think that both of these guys have a lot of question marks anyway. And if you were looking to find something about Shedeur Sanders that you didn't like and he's not your cup of tea, this would further reinforce that. I think if he is your cup of tea, you're going to take this tape and you're going to push it to the side because you're going to judge him from his body of work throughout college. So I don't think it's going to weigh as heavily as far as the teams go. But I think when it comes to public perception from a fan perspective, it really does. It hurts him.
You know, the more and more we get closer to the season closing, man, I'm really starting to buy more into the fact of or into the concept that Tom T does stick to, which is best player available. And I'm starting to think in my head, like, let me ask you your real opinion on this. You love Penn State. You love those defenders, man. And there's a guy, Abdul Carter, out there that's a defensive end that looks like a Micah Parsons clone. And the more I'm starting to get closer to the end of the season, the more I'm realizing, like, are they going to move up? You know, if Shedeur is there, which he could potentially be there whenever we're drafting, it could be 3 through 6, wherever it is, he could still potentially be there, or Cam. But I'm starting to kind of buy more into the fact of we may just take best player available. And I can live with potentially bringing in the Carter from Penn State, not paying Malcolm Kuntz, because we don't know what that's going to look like. You know, what does that entail? You know, like, are you going to have to pay him north of $15 million coming off of a devastating knee injury? You know, I'm starting to buy more into the fact of, and now it's starting to look a lot like Jalen Milroe. He may not declare. Like, it's still not a for sure thing. I don't think that he's potentially going into the draft.
He might not. I'm hearing that he might go to Oregon. You know what I mean? And get into the transfer portal. See, like, this is the thing about these young quarterbacks now and these players. With NIL, they don't have to run to the NFL if their draft position isn't as advantageous to their skill set. They can go and actually be millionaires and work on their game. So that's the great thing about the NIL in a sense. It kind of hurts programs, but I don't think he's coming out because there's no indication that he'll be a first-round pick. So why would you?
And you know what? I think that it's smart for him not to. Once again, you're getting your money, and you are the product of overseeing that team the first year Nick Saban retires. That's a tough act to follow. You know what I'm saying? Like, being the guy that they're looking to keep this program as dominant as they've been with Nick Saban in the building. That's not the same thing without Nick Saban, Wasted. You know this. It's going to take some time for them to rebuild that and get that back to where it was. And it may take a while. We're old enough to watch some of these great coaches leave the collegiate level, go to the NFL, and watch these programs. I mean, look at Michigan right now, 1 year after winning the national championship, and they shit the bed. This happens year in, year out.
Bro, we've watched, you know, the Nebraska Cornhuskers lose Tom Osborne 30 years ago. They've never recovered, right? Bobby Bowden, and, you know, you had Jimbo really quickly, but that's what happens when great coaches leave, right? I just think, man, you know, kind of getting back to what you were saying previously, man, I'm sorry to go back, but, you know, BPA is a little different when you have a quarterback on the board, right? Because, you know, if there's no quarterbacks on the board, of course, it's BPA, right? But if the two top guys in the draft are on the board, when you pick and they fall to you, you can have a guy like an Abdul Carter on the board. But if you have a chance to select one of the, especially if on your board, you have Shedeur Sanders as the top guy and a draft quarterback, the quarterback position looms so large over the rest of the positional groups in football. I think he would still take the quarterback. That's just my personal opinion, because if you look at everything that ills the Raiders over the last 30 years, the fact that we haven't invested in a quarterback in a real way.
Yeah, no, and I agree, but there's just there's a good chance that, let's just say, Shedeur still goes number 1, and then Trav goes number 2 to New England. They need a corner. They can use a wide receiver bad. Even though I think they may go O-line and try and protect their young pup and Drake May, because he's been out there dying a miserable death. But then you can look at potentially the Titans that fall there. They may be a sneaky team to take Cam Ward. So those guys may already be off the board. And at that point, you're looking at best player available, whether that's a lineman, you know, a pass rusher, which we can always use another pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? Especially with all the question marks surrounding Malcolm Kuntz and his health and his free agency that's looming, you know? So, but no, you're right, bro. I agree. When you don't have when you haven't located the quarterback yet, it's a little bit more difficult to go best player available, especially if those guys are potentially on the board. Salute the Raider for life. Sanders is going to be like Carr. What does he do that is special? Carr had better college numbers. He really doesn't run and holds the ball too long. I'm just saying, salute the Raider for life. I'm not going to compare Shedeur and Derek Carr. I don't see any similarities at all. I know this, though. DC, when he played at Fresno State, he had a way, way, way better O-line. He wasn't running for his life.
He had a better receiving core.
Yeah, Devontae Adams.
Who was the other kid that came to the Raiders and played with him? Number 4. He had a single digit number. He's a wide receiver.
UDFA.
Yeah. He was pretty good at Fresno.
Yeah.
He had 3 good receivers at Fresno.
Mm-hmm.
Where I don't think it, like, bro, I don't like doing this comparison crap, right? Because to me, they're not the same kind of a prospect, man. Even to this day, I think, if dollar for dollar, skill for skill, I'm taking Shedeur Sanders over Derek Carr. And I'm going to tell you why. And it's the one thing I saw from Derek Carr when we drafted him. I like DC, and this is what the scouting report, when you go back and you pull a scouting report on Derek Carr, it still rings true today. He is shaky in the pocket because he is scared to get hit. I don't want to hear anything about the ghost of, mid quarterbacks past. This guy's lost to every team that he hasn't played, even the team he plays for. Now he's lost to every team in the NFL. I want to hear this shit. Stop talking about this freaking bum.
And he was very smart. He's very smart to find his way out of the lineup right now because tomorrow he will keep himself from losing to every single team in the National Football League. So, he's
the Brooklyn Brawler of the National Football League. He's the Steve Lombardi of quarterbacks. I don't want to hear this crap. Get the F out of here with this old Derek Carr nonsense.
Salute to Evil Mitchman. Telling you right now, Sanders will be a bust in New York. Salute to my guy on the $2 special. Salute to Coach. If Dylan Gabriel plays and lifts, he's a viable 6'3" quarterback. Get him in the 3rd round and let's light the AFC West up. What's funny, man? I know a lot of people still think that he'll fall, down there because of his size. I think that he's still going to rise up draft boards. I think he'll be a 2nd-round pick, Wesley. I do. I think Dylan Gabriel's going to be gone in the 2nd round.
He's this era's Russell Wilson.
Yeah. Now, I don't believe that he's going to be a phenomenal talent at the next level personally. He could prove me wrong. I'm just saying I don't see it. I don't see it. But I still believe he'll be a 2nd-round guy.
You know what? I see him being a phenomenal talent if he gets drafted by a better team. Like if he goes in the 2nd or 3rd round, there's more of a chance of him going to a team that's addressing a need that's already stacked, or they have another incumbent quarterback that's pretty decent that they feel is startable. You know what I mean? So I think by virtue of the fact that he's not going so high, I think his talents will kind of rise to the top because he doesn't have to go out there and have the lion's share of the responsibility on him having a bad organization. So I can see Miami drafting him, bro, and having him back up Tua. Bro, if that guy is there with Tua, trust me, he will take Tua's job. I like Dylan.
Oh, I agree. Especially with the head injuries, now the hip injury. He may not play tomorrow. He's doubtful, and they're in the playoff hunt right now. They're still fighting for something. You know what I'm saying? So I can see that. I can see him going to Miami, man, and that head coach potentially, that they get rid of the ball quick. They all that movement. They have a great receiving core out there, even though it looks like, and we're going to get here soon in a minute. You get a chance to talk about the whole Tyreek Hill shit?
Yeah, man. I know on my show I didn't because I really didn't. Bro, come on, man. Like every wide receiver, that's swinging out there, everybody puts him on the Raiders. And I hate this shit because it's lazy reporting and people in the media like to play with our fan base. Well,
let me say this, Wasted, before you do that, because I don't know if you've seen what Tyreek has been kind of doing on social media.
Oh, I saw what he's been doing with the Chargers and shit like that.
The eye emojis, right? And then he tweeted out, "It's time for me to go, coach." He's kind of playing into this whole, and this is what these superstar wide receivers do, though. Like when they're not having a phenomenal year like they're used to, what they're accustomed to, because this year, 67 catches, 805 yards, 5 touchdowns. That is not a great year by his standards. Last year, 1,700 receiving yards, back-to-back campaigns out there with Miami. So that it's tough to like really look at him this year, there's a decline clearly in production. There's a decline with that team in general. The offense has took a step back, 2-3 steps back. But, this is maybe him kind of playing into the fact of kind of playing the blame game here and there. But look, man, he's getting up there in age, brother. He's a speedster. He's 30 years old. At some point, you have to say, you're going to slow down, champ. And I know the Chargers on some websites are like the clear favorite to trade for him. They're in the playoffs. Once again, the Jim Harbaugh effect, you guys. The Jim Harbaugh effect. They're in the playoffs. We're going to talk about that Denver game in a minute too, which is
crazy. But bro, Doug, I understand he definitely wants to leave, right? I'm not looking at it like he's not trying to leave Miami. But why the fuck does he want to come here and play with Aiden O'Connell?
Oh, no. I agree.
It's like, come on, bro. Like, what I mean is from the reporters who cover our team, shit is lazy reporting. Does he want to leave Miami? I think that's 100% confirmed, right? Mm-hmm. Does he want to come here? 100% no. And people like to throw us into the equation just cause.
But also, people aren't realizing, you guys, that he has an existing contract that pays him a shit ton of money, and you have to trade for him. This isn't a situation where you can go out and get a T. Higgins who looked phenomenal today against the Denver Broncos, and you just pay him. You pay him. There's no draft capital. There's nothing. There's no trade. It's just you can go get him, or you can just go get a guy in the draft. There's no reason to go get Tyreek Hill. I think me and Wasted have said this probably 300 or 400 times on the phone and probably 1,000 times on the live. We're not at that point to go pay one of these superstar veteran wide receivers. That's a move that one of these teams that are kind of on the heels of becoming a champion or a perennial, playoff team, those are the kind of moves you make. I'm all for bringing in a T. Higgins if you draft a young guy like a Shedeur Sanders or a Cam Ward, because you always want him to have a number one option. And I mean outside of Brock Bowers, a guy that is your tight end and moves around. I'm talking about a real wide receiver one. So what's going on? Are you good?
Nah, my wife can't.
Hey, sis, I won't keep him over here too long. I promise.
She ran out. I got a quick titty show. Thank you.
Yes. There you go. As Dan said in the chat, 8 toes down. Salute to Sholo, man. Fun fact, Isaiah Simmons at the time was the best player available in the 2020 draft when the Chargers head coach Anthony Lynn wanted Simmons and Telesco took Herbert instead. Crazy. I don't think that he was the best player available. I mean, you're comparing a quarterback, a 6'6" quarterback, to a freak athlete in Isaiah Simmons. Don't get it confused. Everybody thought he was going to be that hybrid guy, right? That guy that can cover at the linebacker position, played around and all that good stuff. And we've seen what his career has looked like up to this point. But that's crazy to think that you would compare those two.
Bro, you know what the funny thing? It's like positional value, right? Like when you were talking about Abdul Carter, right? Or you talking about the kid Campbell, right, from LSU. Positional value, it's tiers. It's not just, the guys that we look at and we're like, oh, he's a freak athlete. It's about, value, right? Yeah. Value is tied into, so it's quarterback, left tackle, defensive end. And it all depends on.
It's always that in terms of where you need at the time. Yes.
Those are the three infinity stones, so to speak, in football, right? So if you're not getting a quarterback, then it's like, okay, if I'm the Raiders, where am I at? I have Max Crosby. I have Tyree Wilson, who is developing. He's not what we thought. We have money invested in him. We're not done with him yet. Then I got Will Campbell. Will Campbell is a guy that's probably the best tackle that's come out in the last 3 to 4 years. And we have an aging Colton Miller that we're not really invested in, and we don't have a lot of money tied in. And then we're trying to make this situation palatable for our offense and a new quarterback. You go get Will Campbell. That's just me, right? I get the tackle, right? Even though we've gotten that wrong with Alex Pleatherwood. So it's just crazy, man. We've had such bad luck in the draft, bro. I can see Raider Nation be like, no, he's gonna be another Leatherwood. No, don't take him. He's gonna be another Tyree Wilson. Like, we always got a shitty player that we drafted at any position that we go compare. Terrible, bro.
Yeah, bro. Salute to the Damager once again, man. If you're going to spend a second round on a quarterback, you're better up moving up and using a late first to get that fifth-year option. I love it, Damager. This is 150% correct. So if you develop him the right way and he becomes something, yes, you have that fifth-year option where you don't have to scramble and potentially pay him top dollar, you have one more year to analyze him and kind of, see where he is. I agree with you,
But if he's ass, you can get rid of him quicker.
There you go.
So whatever the metric is, right?
Yeah. Salute to Jeremy as well. Fellas, I think we're going to win the next 2 games and picking around 11 just sucks to win the meaningless games every year. Jeremy, I agree because once again, they're without DC. Chris Olave is out. He was kind of training to being out there this week, and he was questionable all week long. He's officially out. Alvin Kamara is out. They are pretty much just at this point just trying to get through these next 2 weeks with New Orleans and move on. So, and there was a report that came out again today that also kind of goes off of what I put out there, and the source yourself about Mark wanting to win is if AP wins this game tomorrow, Mark is going to look at his situation and think maybe he gets another year, which is absolutely insane to me. If you're looking at this kind of game, playing against a New Orleans beat-up team without wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, you're without your star running back, without your starting quarterback, you have a rookie, Spencer Rattler behind a terrible O-line. If AP wins this game and Mark gives him another year because of it, bro, we may have the worst owner in the NFL, bro.
Bro, if he does that, he's a fucking jackwagon, and they need to take the team from him. Yeah. I don't give a shit what nobody says because, they're making money, and that's what the owners care about. But it also has to be a competitive situation. Like the Raiders, if we go to another, and I spoke about this on my show earlier, man, we're getting into a place where this organization is going to become irrelevant because, like people say, we're relevant now, we haven't won. And I'm like, no, bro, because I'm going to tell you why we're not irrelevant. Because of us, right? Yeah. And I'm not just talking about Graphk and Wasted, right? Or Wasted and whatever. It's not just because of us. It's about everybody who's watching who can hear my voice right now. We're the reason why the Raiders are relevant. And most of us are over 30 years old. So that's dangerous, bro, because you have a whole generation, bro. I've gone years and not seen one Kansas City Chief fan. The only Kansas City Chief fan I've ever known really was my man Lance, because he loved Christian Okoye and Barry Word. Yeah. But, bro, let me tell you something, man. I'm starting in New Jersey. I'm seeing a lot of Chiefs fans. I rode up and down the East Coast in the last few days. I see Chief shit everywhere, bro. Yeah. This is not good for this brand in the NFL. This team might be the fucking Las Vegas Fire Dragons in 5 fucking years if they don't get this shit together, bro. Yeah, facts. I remember I called you. I told you, I said, it feels good to be home because I'm starting to see hella Raider fans again. There's only certain places where it doesn't matter. We've been so through this bullshit for so long that I just think everybody's so used to it, they're just not going to switch up. But it feels good to be home and see a million people Raidered out. You know what I mean? But you're right, though, bro. Like, if this is in which I've told you guys before, I have phenomenal intel on this situation, and Mark really wants to win. And if AP's job is on the line with these next 2 weeks, that is crazy to me. I think that Mark should already know him and Tom Telesco, which I think if Tom Telesco had the full power, he's gone. AP's gone. He's not tied to him. If he has to be a betting man, he's not doing this whole shit again. The Vrabel talk is real, you guys. It is very real. Tom Brady, there's a reason why Vrabel is and the Raiders are connected. And I would definitely, I don't care what anybody says, I would rather have Mike Vrabel over Antonio Pierce 10 times out of 10. 100%, bro. There's no metric that Antonio Pierce is a better choice than a guy who's made the playoffs fucking 3 times in his 6 years coaching, bro. And you know what, Graphk? This is the thing. Salute to Sholo. Appreciate you, brother. We have this intel saying that this game, and it was put out. I saw the account that put it out. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it because I have more intel saying that Tom Brady's going to be the guy making the decision. Mm-hmm. He's going to be over the GM, right? Then we have Mark Davis clearly saying that, yo, I don't want to be involved in these trivial football decisions, peasants. You guys get this shit right. And I want to sit up like the king with my white suit on in my throne, right? Yeah. If he's doing that and he's doing that right now, there's no way that these guys, these football men, these guys who have spent their life and dedicated their life to this shit are going to bring that man back. It ain't happening. Now, if he wants to jump and try to be a jackwagon and actually like meddle and choose this to be the line of demarcation where he meddles, then he's a fucking idiot. Because let me tell you something. And you know, I've always supported Mark. I don't dog Mark.
Me too. Love Mark. Love Mark.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, have proximity to him and everything. But I'm not doing my job if I'm not telling the truth. I don't give a shit about nothing.
Bro, that's why Mark said that he loves this show.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Why let this be the line of demarcation when you decide I want to medal? Why you ain't medal when it was time to get a quarterback? Why you ain't medal when you got a guy who's coming up to you in WNBA games and riding around and lauding and, you know, just bloviating about how he wants to star for your team? He could change your franchise possibly, right?
Yeah.
And that's not the time when you medal and say, hey, man, Aiden's got a bruised knee. Sit him out. You medal now to keep this fucking bum that you really didn't want to hire anyway, that you were held over a barrel to hire?
Yeah.
Come the fuck on, bro. Come on. Yeah. That means that, yo, you're making decisions like a 5-year-old. And that means that, yo, you should get the hell out of the building as far as any football decision. Stick to the business part of it. You and Sarah Moore and Douglas and all y'all do that.
The thing is,
go deal with the casinos.
Mark wants to win so bad, but he doesn't know what to do in order to make that happen on a constant basis. That's it. Mark would love to win out these next 2 games and go get the best player available wherever we're drafting. That's Mark's ideology, you guys, is go win these next 2 games. Just win, baby. And whoever's there on the board, I trust my GM to go get the best player available for us, and we can run it the following year. But he's not realizing, you know, once again, how much he's hampering this franchise by doing so. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I'm telling y'all now, we're going to win this game tomorrow. We're going to win tomorrow. Like we're gonna have 4 wins tomorrow. I'm telling y'all now. Like if I'm wrong, hey, I'm wrong. Like beat me over the head, you know, in the chat. All you guys want. We're gonna win tomorrow. We're gonna win. And I don't know if you've seen what happened, but the Raiders were going through all kind of shit today. Wasted like
plane and everything.
Flight was delayed. According to ESPN, salute to Paul Gutierrez. The Raiders were delayed several hours Saturday for their morning charter flight to New Orleans because of a mechanical issue on their plane. The team had to wait for a second plane later in the evening. The Raiders held their pregame team meetings, normally done at the hotel after the road team's arrival at the facility, while waiting for the plane issues to resolve. The Raiders did not depart Las Vegas until about 7 p.m. Pacific time and are scheduled to kick off against the Saints at 12 p.m. Central Time Sunday. A tornado warning and flash flood warning were issued for the New Orleans area Saturday night as storms rolled in. So another obstacle to kind of climb, you know, in terms of getting used to the time difference. You know, I know how that shit is. I'm out here struggling shit. I'm going to sleep damn near 9 o'clock every night in California right now. 2-hour difference, right? So it's a tough thing to overcome, but I still believe that we're going to go out there and we're going to beat the Saints team tomorrow.
You know why I don't think so? Because of the time zone situation, like you just said, man. Like they're essentially playing, to them, it's a 1 o'clock game, but it's essentially to them, it's like 11 o'clock in the morning. The Raiders have really, really struggled with that. You have a situation where they're not rested. They kind of thrown off their regiment, and they're in New Orleans, and that's a notorious city. Miami and New Orleans are very, very tough cities to win in because there's a lot to do there, right?
Yeah.
I don't see the Raiders winning this game because I think this is going to be the game where Spencer Rattler shows his ass.
Ooh, okay.
I think this is the game where you start to see some of that athleticism come together.
Okay.
And we're relatively healthy too. And I know this is a bad take, but the Raiders don't normally play well in this time zone. They just don't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And us having such a bad year and it's such a bad team, not really having a myriad of weapons, even us at full strength is really a third of the strength of this team. So I don't see.
I watched the Saints put up a 0 burger against Green Bay, and Green Bay is a phenomenal team. I think even our Raiders team would have put up at least 7 on them. I got to be real with you, bro. Like this is a really, really bad Saints team. And once again, when you have an owner that is telling everybody you need to win these games, you have a head coach that's saying, we don't give a fuck about your draft. We don't give a fuck about your fantasy football. We're here to win football games. And he's fighting for potentially his job. And you have a quarterback in Aiden O'Connell that at some point, you know, he's looking at it like, I just want to make this roster next year and I got to show my worth. I just think that Rattler's safe regardless. I think that they just took him, and under all the circumstances that they're dealing with, he wasn't the guy going into this year. They had Derek Carr, a 3-time, 4-time Pro Bowler. They thought that maybe he can get things back on track for New Orleans, which I don't know why. But I just think there's so many moving parts, man. I hear you, and I like Spencer Rattler. I wish that we would have got him somewhere in those mid rounds. At least we would have had somebody, that we could develop outside of Aiden O'Connell. But I don't see it, bro. I think these teams struggles, man. Even this defense, we've been creating turnovers. Look at last week. I think that they're gonna kind of have Rattler all over the place. I do.
Yeah, I you know why I disagree, man. Because bro, the Jacksonville Jaguars they're horrendous, and they're actively, bro, like they're trying to tank, bro. Like you can't tell me some of the decisions that are made, some of the players that are on the field. The Jaguars are not really trying to win. That team is defeated. I don't think the Saints are there yet. I don't think they're defeated. Yeah, I think the Saints are really they're trying to show their worth. You got a lot of guys.
Also, that they're fighting for their interim head coach as well.
Yeah. I think this is kind of the other side of the coin of what the Raiders did for Antonio Pierce. They're trying, man. I don't know, man. Look, Antonio Pierce can go up there and talk all that. He doesn't care about this and care about that. But I think that's, and I said this on my show earlier, man. He's being very truculent. He's being very cocky. He's being very, 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 very disrespectful. Because if I'm being honest, Antonio Pierce didn't get his job because he's a good football coach, because of his supposed resume on the grass, which is fucking horseshit. Unless we're looking for a fucking green dot linebacker circa 2007.
Yeah. But also one-time Pro Bowler. Like, it's not. This isn't like a situation where you brought in a fucking
like London Fletcher or something coaching the team. Get the F out of here, man. This guy is like, when you squint, you turn your head. He was a good player, right? He was a very.
You hired Denzel Perryman as your head coach minus the Super Bowl win.
Yeah. He's a good player, right? But this fucking guy, bro, got his job like probably 60% because of the fans.
Yeah.
And for you to spit in the fans' face and say you don't care, there's a way for you to say that without trying to stick it to the fans, because now people are holding your punk ass accountable.
Yeah. I mean, it's as simple as, I love you guys. Because you guys, I'm here, but my job is to win ball games, and I got to go out here and do what I have to do. I hate that, I may have disappointed some of you guys, but shout out to the guys in the nation that are happy that we finally got this 10 loss, back to back off our jacket, and we can move on from that. I agree with you, bro. That watching that presser just rubbed me the wrong way, to the point where you already know I want to move on from AP anyways, but it really
wanted to move on before it started.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want this to happen in the first place.
Bro, you know what was funny, man? I'm gonna give y'all a little peek behind the curtain here, right? Guys, I'm gonna be real with you. Graphk did not want to hire AP. Like, no. I was like on some shit like, well, damn, I don't want this to be another Richie B. I wanted to placate Max Crosby, and this is one of the only times in my fandom that I kind of didn't use my football brain. Graphk was like, he said, AP is a bum. And he really didn't want to disrespect him because he likes him. Yeah. But he didn't that's the thing. If he didn't like AP, he would have eviscerated that move. And every time I talked about it, he would talk about Harbaugh. And it's not that I didn't want Jim Harbaugh. I just think I thought Jim Harbaugh didn't want to come. I thought I'm like, well, if I got a job, I'm leaving college, I want to win. I'm gonna go to where the fucking quarterback is. Yeah, that's what I look.
In which you can still be right, even minus these reports that came out about him wanting to be a Raider. Regardless, you could still be right. There's no real proven. There's no proof out there that he wanted to be a Raider, unless he says it out of his own mouth. It is what it is. But yes, you're right. You're right.
But bro, y'all gotta understand something. So when people say, you switching up, direct that to me, right? Direct that to me. Don't direct that to him, bro, because he never wanted Antonio Pierce at all, on no level, yo. Me.
But you know what? I was happy for the nation. Once again, I was happy for you guys. I was happy for everybody that got their way. I was happy for Max. I was happy for apparently Devontae at the time, and even Josh and everybody that they were still there. We're excited about him coming back. So but hey, yeah, I knew what the mission was with this situation, and We're here now. It is what it is. Salute to the damager. Mark is in one of the top 5 worst owners behind Haslam, Khan, Tepper, Johnson. The fact that this man wants to win at this stage shows his ineptitude. I'm tired of it. Salute the damager, my dog. And he named some terrible owners right there.
David, High Stakes, Tepper, and Khan, the wrestling man.
AEW himself, bro. Like, God.
Yo, Jimmy, High Stakes, Haslam, the Browns master owner, bro. Crazy.
Salute to Mick Lowe, the albino quarterback, will play the game of his life. Salute to my guy.
AKA Powder.
Salute to our guy, Franklin Skinner, as always, man. Real shit wasted. Take a grown man to admit it and take the fall. Hey, man, look, bro, that's who we are, though. You know, hey, I've been wrong. I've been wrong about shit, and I've come over here and said, yo, I was wrong. It's clear cut, bro. Like, it is what it is. You know, but hey, when we write, man, we sometimes we like to talk our shit a little
bit. Man, I was styling profile like Ric Flair. Damn
it. Sincere McCormick, baby. Sincere McCormick, man. Hey, hey, wasted. He admitted even with the Brock Bowers situation, like, hey, man, I was pissed off at the time, and that's the only bright spot that we have on this roster this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. So, hey, man,
you guys know what I said. Even during the draft, I said, look, he's the best player in the fucking draft, but I wanted a quarterback. And I still want a quarterback. Like, bro, I understand in this league, bro, this is not the 90s, bro. You can build a team and have a like Mark Rippon take you to the Super Bowl and be okay. Yeah. It's not like that no more, bro. Because you can't touch these fucking guys.
The Washington Redskins, dog. Like, he's about Mark Ripken.
Yeah, Mark Rippon. Yeah, like you can have him because they have such a great roster. They had great offensive line, great defensive players, fucking, Sanders and Clark, Ricky Sanders and Clark and Art Monk. They have all these great players, running backs everywhere. Yo, Middleton and them at tight end. You can't do that in the NFL now because you can't touch a quarterback, bro. They might as well put freaking flags on these guys now. So if you can't touch them, then the whole caveat about them being tough is out of it now. Mm-hmm. Like back in the day, you had some really talented quarterbacks who just weren't tough. Yeah. Now it don't even matter anymore, bro. So now you have to prioritize the quarterback. You have to. They throw too much. There's no balance in the game. You got to have a great quarterback. That's the reason why I know if we're ever going to win, we have to really, until we get it right, we got to draft a quarterback as much as possible.
Every fucking year. Salute to Andy, man. Little bro. Shedeur winning 9 games, being on the most one-dimensional team is still very impressive, but they got smacked. This is facts, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Very one-dimensional. Defense is terrible. Offensive line. Where's the run game? It's difficult. Look, I'm a Shedeur guy, but I'm man enough to say this was bad. This was bad because all these guys that keep saying that he doesn't play great against top talent, they're starting to look more and more right because of these kind of performances. You know what I mean? Regardless of the roster that's on that team, because we all know, right? Great players elevate their team. This was a bad performance all across the board. Salute to Andy. I want to ask you too, Wasted, after this one real quick before we get out of here. We need a quarterback, running back, wide receiver. Destroy the ways. You ain't never lied, bro. Ever. I agree with you. I think it's quarterback. I'll go running back, the 2 third-round picks, guard, wide receiver. That is what I would do personally. Back-to-back offense, first 3 rounds, and then start attacking the defense. But if you do find one of those, phenomenal linebackers there in the second round, I'm not against bringing one of those athletic guys. Me and Waste have been asking for it. Waste has been screaming for it longer than me, and I'm on the train now of going to get a real athletic guy that can drop back in coverage and play the run at a high level. I'm sick of having these guys that are only good at one thing. You know what I mean? Like we need that sideline to sideline guy at the linebacker position, bro. You know what I mean? But salute to Destroy the Weights. As always, man, salute to Crash Dog as well. You both are right way more than you're wrong. Well, and we appreciate you on that, Crash Dog. But the thing is, sometimes we're live 20, 30 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about everything Raiders. So there's going to be times where we're wrong. And to be honest with you, we're probably wrong a lot. But when you're live doing 2 hour long lives, I mean, hey man, we talk literally about everything. So I always find it funny when anybody tries to find times when we are wrong and they're trying to hold it over our head, and they hit the bookmark on Twitter and all that other goofy shit.
Bro, like, yo, I saw some guy talking about, I can't wait till AP turns it around. Listen, bro, y'all understand something. I am a fan of this team. If that guy comes in and like turns it around and we go to the playoffs, congratulations. And you know what I'm going to say when you bookmark and show the tweet of me being in the moment and assessing the moment for what it is now? I'm going to tell you, fuck you. That's all I'm going to tell you. Fuck you. Who cares? We're winning.
And I was wrong. Randy the freaking Ramsey, he was sacked 9 times. I thought it was 4. I didn't see the actual statistics in terms of how many times he was sacked. And I watched the whole game. But that's crazy. 9 times, bro. Like, but he lost like 34 yards, like 30, somewhere in that 30 range. That's bad, bro. That BYU defensive line was all over Shedeur all game long, bro.
Yeah. I mean, bro, I'm not trying to be a prisoner of the moment with what's going on with Shedeur, right? Like, that BYU team has historically been stacked.
Yeah.
For that conference, BYU is not a Johnny-come-lately program, man. Like, people forget that, these guys came from a situation, they won 2 games before Deion got there.
Yeah.
They won 2 games, and he's like turned that program around in 2 years. That's like unheard of, man. Yeah. So like, listen, when you do step up against better talent, it's because college football is a war of attrition, bro. Yeah. It's like it's not just 1 or 2 stars, man. When you look at Georgia, how many people in Georgia are sitting there right now, right, that you guys don't even realize we're playing together?
Yeah.
Like, when you look at, like, you got half of the players on the Philadelphia Eagles was on the same team together.
Yep.
Playing together, bro. So they essentially had a National Football League team.
Nolan, Jalen Carter, Dean,
all these dudes.
Yeah, man. All those guys, bro. Yeah.
And then you got a lot of them guys who are on rosters all over the league. Chris Smith and like that. So
the other kid that they drafted at corner 2 years ago.
The big tall kid, Rangel. What the fuck is that kid? The big kid, man.
I think he has like a girl name and shit. Like, he's like but Georgia is definitely that's the Georgia Eagles for sure.
Yeah, this is the Georgia Eagles, right? Kaylee Rangel.
There you go.
Yeah, yes, but bro,
Ringo.
Yeah, bingo, bango. My bad. Let's call the whole thing off, right? But bro, like, so don't just like put it all on Shedeur, where he's supposed to go out there and overcome a roster of guys who are probably, going to get drafted. Like, like, I'm not acting like BYU is Alabama, but don't just make it like Colorado is ready to rock and roll and compete already.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, bro. Salute to Mark. Thoughts on Jackson Dart, 2nd or 3rd round? I'll say this: if he's available there in the 3rd and you haven't found a quarterback, I have no problem bringing him in and trying to develop him. I'm not the biggest Jackson Dart guy. I'm gonna be real with you. Wasted kind of put me up on some game tape, and I checked it out a little bit, and there are some flaws to his game, but there are some things that you can definitely build on. But he's not in my top 5 in this draft, and this isn't even a really quarterback heavy draft. Like, well, you know what? Let me say this: he probably crept in there now because some guys
went back to college. Like,
yeah, so
when we were talking about the top 5, we were still talking about Drew Allard, all these dudes. Some of these guys ain't coming out, right? So to me, is a top 5 guy in this draft. But this draft is ass. It's like being the tallest midget.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, facts. But I like
Jackson Dart because of his moxie, right?
Yes.
He's very raw. He has a lot of skills. I love the fact that he's competing in the SEC against top talent. He's a guy that if you do bring him in there, you got to let him watch, because it's very similar to the Will Levis thing. He's a guy that they're gonna fall in love with.
Oh, I like that.
When you start watching him throw the ball in the underwear, they're gonna be, oh, this guy could be, he's a stud.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna get out there and he's gonna fart.
Yeah. Yeah, I was mildly sold on him because you know how much I love Trey Harris, the wide receiver out there at Ole Miss. Yeah. So somebody has to get him the ball, and that somebody is Jackson Dart. So, but it's going to be interesting. I'm watching him very closely, especially when I go to the draft this year, or the combine this year, it's going to be tough to really check him out and watch him closely. Salute the God family, Raiders for life. After today, sign T. Higgins. He's phenomenal. Didn't he have like 2-3 touchdowns today? Like he balled the fuck out. I think he had 3. I could be wrong. I think he had 3. Dre Greenlaw, which I would love to bring in even after the injury. Kuntz, draft Gene T first, which I don't think is going to happen. Gabriel in the second. Charles Grant, tackle/guard, and Tez John. But why would you want to bring in Tez, God and family, when he's 5'10", and you already have a Trey Tucker? You can just bring back DJ. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to draft another guy that's 5'10", 5'11 tops.
Nah, man. Nah, you need a guy that
you need an X.
Go get that ball. You need somebody that you can have a situation where you could place that ball in a certain situation where he can go get that mug. Like, bro, look, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Everybody's saying T. Higgins. I do not want another big name free agent wide receiver. I am done with that shit.
The only reason is because he's young. He's 26. That's the only reason that I would pay T. Higgins that. And when are you gonna have this kind of salary cap again? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still young. He fits the mold of what we're trying to do. I think that he would value Las Vegas over New England, even though they have more money.
Yeah, I mean, not really, because New England got somebody to get him the ball. Until we get a guy that can get, that's the key to having a happy free agent acquisition from the wide receiver standpoint. I mean, you got guys like Stephon Diggs, man, that was playing with Josh Allen. He was complaining. You know what I'm saying? Like you look, you got AJ Brown. This dude is in Philly. He winning, got a chance to go to a Super Bowl. He's complaining. Like, so the thing with T. Higgins, you ain't quiet now. But he playing with Joe Burrow now. Joe Burrow just threw 40 touchdowns today for the season, bro. Like, he the first guy to do it since Patrick Mahomes in a long time. He playing with, to me, is the best. To me, that besides Patrick Mahomes, that's the best quarterback in the league. Never mind the rest of these guys. Joe Burrow, to me, is the guy, right? So if we don't have that kind of a guy, and now T. Higgins has to come here and get the ball thrown to him by Aiden O'Connell. He's young. He's trying to get to an all-pro level. It's all this shit in his career he hasn't done. And he got somebody throwing fucking hospital balls and worm burners. He's gonna get pissed too. He's gonna be a problem. I don't want the Raiders. I want the Raiders to really use this team and build this team like how you would build a house. Build the foundation. The foundation of the team are both lines. The defensive line and that's the foundation of the team, and then build out. And if you do that, you will have a really damn good football team.
And we said it before, Telesco has done that. Rashawn Slater, Zion Johnson, going out and getting those guys on the offensive line, defensively drafting Bosa, trading for Khalil Mack, going and getting TT out of USC. Like
Joe Alt last year.
Well, he wasn't there. He wasn't there when they got Joe Alt. That was this offseason.
Oh.
Yeah.
But still getting Joe Alt was fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Wasted, I know it's getting late out there, brother. I'm going to get one more question before we get out of here, all right? Well, actually, one more article that I want to run over, and I want to get your opinion. Salute to Cheese. Any free agent QBs worth a look? No. Cheese, I mean, Justin Fields and Sam Darnold are like the upper echelon of potential free agent quarterbacks. And then you're looking at the likes of a Winston, who, we know what that looks like, right?
Yeah, man, that joker went out like Jerry Rice the other day with the chicken, bro.
Yeah, bro.
So Jerry Rice had the chicken, the
Popeyes chicken helmet.
Oh man, Jameis Winston, man, he looked like Pig Meek Markham up there, man.
Yeah, man. But Cheese, I mean, you're looking at Justin Fields, Sam Darnold, which I don't think Sam Darnold ever hits the market. I do believe that, and I think we kind of started this. I see a lot of people running with potentially JJ McCarthy coming to the Raiders. It's so funny that sometimes after we do these videos and shit, man, people take shit and they run and they say this and that. There's starting to be articles now dropping that potentially.
Yeah, well, people was quoting some guys down the dial. I have inside information that JJ McCarthy might be coming to the Raiders. Listen, hey, everybody, let me get a super. Bro, like, let me ask you a question. How fucking plausible does it seem for the Raiders to go and take a kid that they just drafted, who got hurt, that they were going to start over Sam Darnold, and they're going to push him to the back burner just because Sam Darnold is big, physical, strong, could throw the ball hard, and has an offensive genius head coach. He has the best wide receiver in football, one of the best offensive lines in football, has a great running back, and a fucking Pro Bowl tight end in Hockenson. Of course he should do well.
Oh, yeah.
The fuck, Jameis Winston would do good, and fucking Kirk Cochains is damn near. Yeah, that guy is 1 foot away from being out the league, right? With Atlanta, but with Minnesota, he was taking them to the playoffs. It's bullshit. The Minnesota Vikings are not stupid, bro. They're gonna either franchise Sammy or they're gonna start JJ. But there's no uncertain terms where you get JJ McCarthy, bro. They ain't gonna fuck.
Let me say this: if they make a run, they win a few playoff games, and they get potentially to the NFC Championship, I think they pay Sam Darnold, bro. I think that they would move.
They can franchise him, bro. They can franchise him.
Yeah, well, we shall see. In my opinion, that is cap. That is cap. We definitely talked about that months ago. So, but salute to 24. Enjoy the content, fellas. Your voice is like our voice. Happy holidays, Graphk and Wasted. Keep up the phenomenal work. My brother 24, we appreciate you. We got 1,100 people in the building, man.
No, what's that? What are we talking about?
No, he said that someone else had mentioned it first, and that was cap. And it's someone that we're cool. We have a rapport with, but that's ultra cap. Yeah. Hope I don't die before they get a Super Bowl. Fernando, bro, me and you both, bro. I'm so pissed. I've never had an opportunity to see us win a championship, bro. Facts, man. Salute to God and family. Agree with Wasted. Raiders are 100% drafting a quarterback. Facts, brother. And I see that Carson Beck actually declared today too, even with the injury. So it's we're gonna see. I wonder where he goes. He has the measurables. I don't know if he has the mental capacity to get it done at the next level.
Right, man. He don't watch film and shit like that already. That's a no-no. He can listen. He could look like Tarzan and have a 2-cent brain and play like Jane. And that's really the thing you worry. Carson Beck should be the #1 pick in this draft. What's fucking with that?
Yeah, no, he should have. But before the season, we were talking about him being the first guy. This is facts. But I mean, he's on Snapchat more than he's in the fucking playbook. So. You know what I mean? It is what it is, though, man. Wipe them feet, y'all. Hit them thumbs up. If you are not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I got one more thing that I want to go over with you guys. Did you see the news that broke today about Patrick Graham? So there was a report that dropped that we tried to extend him this offseason, and he declined. So he will be a free agent this offseason, right? Which I think was the right move for him, because he's kind of been that guy that's been getting here and there these interviews in the offseason for head coaching spots. And I know that some of them were kind of like the Rooney Rule type, like we got to bring him in a higher, just at least interview him and so on and so forth. I think he kind of fucked himself a little bit though, man, because I don't think that he expected this season to go as bad as it is right now. Mm-hmm. But what do you think in terms of him denying? Because I think he had plans. I think he had plans of moving on, potentially going to getting another job somewhere else, and in terms of maybe even going up and becoming a head coach. But now with all these injuries and the way the defense has declined this year, what do you think Graham stands with this organization?
I think that he's out the door, especially if AP's not back.
Yeah. Well, he's a Brady guy. The connections there still as well with the.
There's no metric to bring him back. Like that guy, like. For us, right? And this is the rose-colored glasses thing, right? I feel like Raider fans are like Shallow Hal.
Yeah. Oh no, that's exactly who we are, bro. Damn,
Shallow Hal, bro. Yo, this guy.
Phenomenal. Anyone that doesn't understand the analogy, please look it up, and you're gonna be like, "This motherfucker Wasted is a motherfucking genius." But go on ahead, my brother.
Bro, they're acting like this fucking guy's Buddy Ryan or some shit. We've never even been in the top 5 in defense. None of that, bro. Like, oh, wow, we're 16th in the league in defense. To me, that's not anything that should get him a head coaching job. And that's nothing that should get him any consideration to be brought back, especially because this team is going just like his career. If you look at the rankings on the defenses that he's been an officiate over, it's 1 good year, 1 mediocre year, 2 shitty ones. And then
a positive year, a positive half a year when AP took over as the interim head coach.
So he don't even have a 1 good year.
Yeah. So
I
said it already, bro, to move on from. I think you can upgrade there regardless.
Get him the F up out of here.
Yeah.
Get him the F up out of here. Patrick Graham is a guy that when he is gone, you will see he is essentially the Andre James of defensive coordinators.
But you know what?
Though? On paper, but if you get somebody who's a real mauler, you're gonna see the difference.
But you know why we fell in love with him? Because we've had the
Paul Gunther,
Paulie G's, right? We had the Gus Bradley who came in and it was we're so used to having these defensive coordinators that are just so ass that, like Graham, we just thought we seen a light at the end of the tunnel per se, and it really never materialized the way that we thought it would.
Bro, we had Ken Norton Jr.
Oh, that was terrible. hey, bro, and 12-4. 12-4 with Ken Norton called the defense.
We had Victor Moan Jr. here coaching defense, bro.
Yo, facts. But I'm gonna say this, on that article, good riddance, Patrick Graham. I would move on. I would bring someone else in, and I would just start from scratch in terms of the coaching staff, regardless. Because the thing is this, you guys, if Brady's going to have the control that we think he's going to have, or that's being reported, why do you even keep any of these people in the building? Like this is a time to start scratch, because once again, you're going to get a quarterback at some point. You're going to have a new quarterback. You need a new head coach. You could bring in all these new guys. This would be the off season to do that. Simple and plain.
Bro, the problem with the Raiders has always been this, right? You got people in spaces and places they shouldn't be at the wrong times.
Yeah.
You hire a coach and then he gets handcuffed, or you hire a coach, they fire the GM, then the new GM comes in and gets handcuffed to a coach that they can't fire or some bullshit, right? Or you have a head coach and then we make them keep the special teams coach. And I'm just going back to when Al was here. Al would do shit like this, right? It's been very rare that we have just said, you know what? You, all of you guys are done. Let's start fresh. We have a really, really great opportunity now, right, to bring in quarterback, got the GM in place. Brady, get rid of the coaching staff. Go out there, go hire a coach. Let your coach pick his staff, Tom Telesco, right? Yeah. And go out there and find a guy that's going to develop that young quarterback. And y'all can be on the same timeline. So guess what? Me as a fan, I can say, I don't got to wonder whether Champ Kelly's the guy making the picks. He can go too. I think he needs to get the fuck out of here too, right? Yeah. Now I know, it's Tom Telesco. It's this coach. It's this player. All y'all can get out of here if it don't work. That's how I see it, bro. I hate that you got to figure out who's to blame, bro. I want to know exactly who to place blame on. Get everybody out of here, bro.
The thing is this, though. If Mark doesn't allow Tom Telesco to do his job, remain in this same spot forever, bro. Forever.
That's the funny thing. Who's the guy who's not allowing him to do his job? Because it's clearly not Mark Davis. There's no more Gruden anymore. There's none of that. And I really firmly believe this. If Tom Telesco was not the guy who swings and wields the power in this building, I believe Booger Minshew wouldn't be here. I believe they would have drafted a lot differently. I really believe that. Like him having the latitude to draft a tight end in a place where you have a team that is fucking horrendous, right? Not horrendous, because we were precipice of going to a playoff, right?
Yeah, we were on the uptick.
But having quarterbacks available and the owner saying we need a quarterback and I want a quarterback, because he said that before too, right? If Mark didn't let Tom do his job, they wouldn't have drafted Brock Bowers, bro. Brock Bowers would be a Ram right now.
No, I agree. They wanted to trade up and get him. I'm just saying at that point, though, bro, like there was no quarterback available. They were all gone.
The thing is that they were within very, very. It was like third and manageables, 3rd and 1. They could have just moved up and got who they wanted.
Wasted, bro. We know Commanders wanted Jaden, right? We knew that. Caleb was going to the Bears regardless. Drake May was going to New England. They weren't moving that pick. And we can even go to if the Falcons took Penix there at 8, they wanted him the whole time. There was no discussion there. You're not moving up to get him, in which there was rumors about Tom wanting to move up around that range to go look at him. And Sean Payton, his heart desired fucking Bo Nix. That was a match made in heaven. You see what that looks like. And then Minnesota was J.J. McCarthy the entire time. So, bro, like these were teams that already found their quarterback. They were just waiting for him to fall to him. There was no way that we can move around those guys.
Once those two guys got off the board, the Raiders had enough ammunition and time to move into a space to get who they wanted.
To tango, brother, and you know this.
I know that.
Minnesota needed a quarterback. Denver needed a quarterback. Atlanta they essentially didn't need one, but now it looks like a smart move. It looks like a weird move because now they're starting them after paying them that guaranteed money, but it still worked out for them, at least in terms of Penix being the guy. But I'm just saying, bro, that was a tough
Detroit Buddha has my mind scrambled right now. Floating around somewhere, right? I need to see that draft order because I know Drake May went pretty early, right?
Yes.
You got to let me pull this
because it was Caleb, Jaden, and Drake May back to back.
All right, now who picked fourth?
Fourth was let me bring this up. 2024 NFL draft. I think that was Joe Alt. I think it was Alt, right?
It was Joe Alt. Right. So look, I'm saying there are places at like 5 and 6. I think.
All right, here we go. No, it was Marvin Harrison Jr. Caleb, Daniels, May, Marvin Harrison Jr., Joe Alt at 5, Neighbors at 6, J.C. Latham at 7, Penix at 8, Roma Dunzy at 9, J.J. McCarthy at 10, and then you got Fashanu to the Jets at 11, Bo Nix at 12, Brock Bowers right there at 13. Now you look down right there, right? There's not one quarterback at all that's anywhere near.
But they could have moved up into the J.C. Latham conversation. They could have got there because they could have got draft conversations from us. That's if they're serious about getting a quarterback. Yeah. If they moved there, they would have had the pick of 3 guys right there. That was right before Penix, and that was right before everywhere. And then Atlanta tried to move in after, you know what I'm saying? The Raiders could have got their quarterback if they wanted it.
Okay, but are you getting the right quarterback?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In their infinite wisdom, they didn't feel like, I don't think they felt like those guys were the guy, right?
Bo Nix is Bo Nix to me because he went to the perfect system. Michael Penix, we don't know what he is yet. JJ, I think personally went to the perfect guy in Kevin O'Connell to Minnesota, even though with that injury, I think if they do hold on to him, he'll end up being phenomenal because of the system. Like, these are guys that went to the perfect place. Could you imagine if one of those guys went to the Raiders this year, bro? We would have shit the bed. We just shit the bed. We would have shit the bed, bro. With Luke Getsy calling the O with one of these fucking guys, it'd have been terrible.
I firmly believe if they got one of them guys, will Luke Getsy be our coach? He might not. Yeah, because you got a young guy to develop. Maybe Cliff Kingsbury would have stayed.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. I gotta do the Drewski.
Yo, salute to everybody here in the building. As always, we're doing a late night show. It is 1 a.m. We're wasted. I'm gonna let my brother go spend some time with the family. Yeah,
everybody else, I can't sleep worth a shit.
Yeah, especially when you other people's houses and shit, huh?
I can't sleep worth a shit, bro.
Yeah, man, shit. I'll be live tomorrow, you guys. I'll be covering the game. Me and Hammer will be here live. Raiders, Saints. I was gonna go out tomorrow and go to a Raider bar and watch the game, but I was like, you know what, man? Let me cover the game, man. Fuck it. I get an opportunity to do one at the crib. Let me do that. But thank you, man, to everybody that pulled up, man. You got anything on the way out, bro? You want to say? We still got 1,100 plus people here in the chat.
Yo, man, shout out to Andy. He said we're ass chat. Love y'all. That's it, man. That's a cherry on top of this show, man.
Yeah, facts, man. Other than that, I can leave on this note. As someone that has lobbied, right, for Shedeur to be the guy, look, hey, if you guys want, beat him up today. Terrible showing. Look, I'm a firm believer in calling the shit how you see it. And this was a bad performance by Shedeur. I know a lot of people are feeling some type of way about Cam Ward sitting out the second half. I don't really personally, because he didn't even need to play this game, to be honest. So, for him to go out there and put up 3 touchdowns in a bowl game for his team and sit out the third and fourth quarter, I don't see anything wrong in that. I don't. And I believe there was some kind of record at stake. Wasted. I could be wrong. I've seen some rumors and some talk on Twitter about him going out there and potentially breaking a record. I don't know what it was, and I'm not going to act like I do know.
I mean, look, bro, the guy played in the Utah Fried Chicken Bowl. It don't even matter, bro. It don't matter, dog. I'm gonna be honest with you. I want all the smoke for Shedeur Sanders, right? I want the media narrative around him to say that he's terrible and he doesn't play good in big games. And I want all of these jackwagon scouts to say the same thing. Because guess what? The New York Giants are itching. They're waiting. They're looking for a reason not to draft him.
You think so? And And you're up there. You know, you from it. You know it.
Bro, the Giants, look, man, look, the Giants don't normally do this kind of stuff, bro. I'm telling you now, the Giants might, you know, and listen, they have an owner who has been around the game, but he meddles way too much and he listens to the media way too much. And John Mara. Yeah. John Mara listens to the media. So let's get this narrative started. Let's sabotage Shedeur so he can fall right to us, man.
I love it. Hey, I love it. And once again, you guys, the guy has not had any protection, sacked 9 times. It was a tough game. He threw 2 picks today. It happens, right? But we can't take away what Shedeur has done these 2 years at Colorado. And Cam Ward, once again, had a phenomenal game. And yes, you guys, one more time, I see Wise understanding saying Carson Beck, he did declare today. So, and he looks like he'll be healthy by the time football comes around next season. So that's an interesting name. But once again, me and Waste to kind of echo the same sentiment with him is he's not passionate about the game. He's not bought into this game. It seems like he has other things that he places above football.
Yeah, he want to be an Insta baddie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. You know, I can see him on Instagram posting video or adding Fashion Nova over and over, bro.
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? Like at Fashion Nova. Hey, thank you for the shirt at Fashion Nova, and he ain't even got to deal with
at Flat Tummy T. I lost 15 pounds before the draft, and hold on, I have my Stanley.
Yo, that's one more time to you guys. I want to put this out there. I know some of you guys seen it on social media. Thank you guys so much for participating in the St. Jude's fundraiser. We had an opportunity to send the money over this week. They were very pleased. They sent me messages on both Twitter and Insta. They were really ecstatic about us being able to provide any kind of money, you know, for them and families in need. So to everyone that watched that live, whether you donated or not, we got ad money from it, all that other stuff. We just thank you guys for being a part of that. And we're going to do more next season as well in terms of St. Jude's and running up a bag for a phenomenal cause. That's our 3rd time we've done it. And we're going to continue to do it year in and year out. So thank you once again to everybody who donated and watched the stream. We were just live for 3 hours talking wrestling and just bullshitting. So, but thank you guys so much for doing that, man. And when are you going live again, Wasted? You got your morning show, or you going to doing a recap tomorrow? What you got going?
I'm going to try, but you know I got to get back up to Jersey. So
you leave tomorrow?
I might leave tomorrow, bro, because to be real with you, I'm bored out of my fucking.
Hey, bro, it's men, bro. We be ready to get back to work. Like, you know, I'd rather just go to work.
Yeah, I low key on New Year's Eve. I'm supposed to be off. I want to go to work.
Hey,
I know that sounds so old school, man. But
get that double, bro, or that double and a half.
Yeah, man. New Year's Eve, man. I want to go to work. F it.
Well, if you around tomorrow, man, let me know. We definitely we'll definitely run something, my brother. I appreciate you for pulling up as always. Salute to the chat. Love you guys. Would hate to leave with over 1,000 people here in the building. But we will see you guys tomorrow for the game. And hopefully Wasted does a morning show or a recap as well. So, and for those just popping in the show, run it back.
I'm down here and I'm not on the road. I'm going to do it because my dumb ass drove down here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which is insane. I don't think I can do this anymore.
Nice, nice 14, 15-hour drive for sure. It's nasty work. Salute to everybody once again, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow. On the way out, man, wipe them feet. Let me get Andy's nasty comment off the fucking off the shit, because Andy just everybody's been saying we miss a wet blanket Andy. You know what I mean? So salute to Andy, bro. You know what I mean? We love you, bro. But all right, y'all.
Facts.
We'll see you tomorrow. The outro 1.